Hello and welcome to Michigan International Speedway here for Night Shift Racing League. We are on round 4 now, and the second round covered here on the Esports Broadcasting Network channel. So just about a minute until we get into the qualifying session at the moment. 15 cars in the session right now, so it's looking like one heat race for now. There's a maximum of 14 cars in them. And if you are joining us here for the first time for the Night Shift Racing League, format is there will be a qualifying session as normal. The top 2 cars from that qualifying session are going to go through to occupy the front 2 rows, the front row, sorry, of the grid, front 2 spots. And then those below that are going to be put into heat races. If there are more than 17 cars, there's 2 heat races. But since we have 15, there's going to be one heat race made up of 13 people. I believe it's going to be a 6-lap heat race here for the on the 2-mile lap of Michigan International Speedway. And then that will determine the rest of the order for them now. So we go into qualifying. Let's follow the first car going round. This is the 75 car of Rick Helms at the moment, just coming out the pits. Up there. So we follow him. Let's take a look if I can find the gyro camera so that we can follow along for a lap here of Michigan International Speedway. Here Rick driving a Ford. Very close to that outside wall, making sure he maximises his speed coming onto the back stretch. Trying to stay fairly low, but by the looks of things not too low. See, obviously that time's going to put him top of the pile at the moment. But some more times to come through, obviously. Mike Hamlin setting better time than Rick Helms, and John Gallagher immediately going above the both of them. So we'll see here what that's going to be in just a moment. I'm not sure why nothing's showing up. There we go, things now showing up on the top. See the top 5. This is the car currently sitting on pole position, just about to finish his second lap here. Is it going to be any quicker? Mike Hamlin's gone quicker than him. No, it's not going to be quicker than his first lap, so at the moment Mike Hamlin's sitting on the top of the pile. But Cody McFadden clearly heard me say that, as he now goes top. Only 200 quicker than Mike in the 28 car. Still a few people to set laps. Chris Papa is one of those. Where this is going to be his second lap, actually. See where that puts him. Looks like that one also wasn't valid, so he's definitely going through in a heat race. Chris Otto is the last car to set a lap. Oh, that's not going to help. But he resets, he'll have one more at least. Hitting the wall on your qualifying lap, not the most ideal way around. Actually, I think that might have been his out lap. But looks like he's reset entirely, so that may well be our order for qualifying. Obviously, rest of the pack, anyone from third down, not really mattering too much, as they're going to be going into that heat race to determine the order for the start of the actual race. It's going to be an 80 lap race around here, with a halfway stage caution on lap 40. As just wait another 30 seconds. I think everyone's done what they want to do in terms of laps, so not going to be too long now. But it's going to be Will Bustler on top of the pile, just ahead of Cody McFadden. Those are going to be the two cars starting on your front row. And then the rest of the grid for this first heat race goes as follows. We've got Mike Hamlin and Dave Hunt up at the front, and Trent Gagnon, John Gallagher, Daniel Pearson and Byron Mcdonald. Then we've got Rick Helms, Dale Weiser. Then we've got Evan Ethel. Then we've got Charlie Gates, Eric McCarthy, Chris Otto. And then bringing up the back of the pack at the moment, Chris Papper. Obviously plenty of time for these guys to make up positions, but they want to be starting as far up as possible, so heat racing format really going to give us some action here early on, as they do not have a lot of time to do it in. You see there, it will be a 6-lap shootout. So just waiting for everyone to grid up here. Got 2 more to go. And then we can get this first heat underway. Here we go then, Dave Hunt doing his best pace car impression. He's decided that the pace car is going to take his place, and he's going to take the pace car's place. Now swapping them back around, so we know that he's the one that's going to be doing the racing. They make their way down the back stretch. Get ready to go green for the first race of the night. I think I'd actually prefer to be in their position rather than being the top 2, because you get more racing. Because everyone watching, let me know what you'd think in the chat. Where would you prefer to be? Would you prefer to be racing, or would you prefer to be on the front row? But here we go then. Running up towards the green flag. There it is. We are underway. Front 2 very even on the start. Looks like that inside lane is going to pay dividends for Mike Hamlin though, as he's going to get purely in front of Dave Hunt. Off the turn. A battle for fourth between Byron Mcdonald and Trent Daniel. Byron's going to try and go the long way round. Work through 3, now coming through the exit of 4. They're still going to be side by side, but like Daniel Pearson's managed to follow that 23 through. Top guy's running away just a little bit here, as there's a bit of battling going on in the back as well. Charlie Gates Jr. trying to make his way past Eric McCarthy. I think either that 99 has a big problem, or they just got completely left out to dry, as Charlie Gates goes for a bit of grass mowing action, try and keep control of that car. Just about hangs onto it, but unfortunately that means he's going to be at the back. There are no cautions in these heat races, obviously they are so short. Wouldn't be able to get a caution in. Here we got Daniel Pearson and Chris Otto going side by side. Otto currently the biggest mover in that 48. He is up 5 at the moment. Something's happened to Dale Weiss. Have a quick look at that one. It's not where you want to be. It's where you do want to be is up at the front. Mike Hamlin currently at the front since the start. He set perfect time. Dave Hunt getting very loose there. That can allow the 76 of Gallagher any time to get through. They're going to be side by side. But, not able to get it done, getting pretty loose. So Dave Hunt keeping that one. For now, Chris Otto in the middle of this pack before Eric McCarthy's got a pack of hungry wolves behind him as we come towards the white flag. Otto's first in line, but looking further forward. Now Gallagher's having to do some defending from Rick Helms. There is the white flag. 75 of Helms sitting on the inside. He's going to be able to make that move stick. He's moving up into third. There's battling in this pack. Maybe if they got the momentum, they'll look to go 3 wide here as the two Chris's battling it out. Chris Papa being the victor there, and he's going for a nice little move on Daniel Pearson, getting very loose there, having to run on the apron for a bit. Checkered flag, Mike Hamlin wins the heat race. But who's going to win out of these 3? They're so close. Chris Papa's going to take the 7th position. But that means Hamlin and Hunt are going to roll it off on row number 2 for this one. And then we will run through the rest of the grid very shortly. So then, your full grid for round 4 of the Night Shift Racing League Cup Series at Michigan is going to look like this. Will Bustler and Cody McFadden, as we discussed, on row number 1. Then we've got Mike Hamlin and Dave Hunt just behind them. Rick Helms and John Gallagher sitting pretty close in tow on row 3. Byron Mcdonald and Daniel Pearson make up row 4, and Chris Papa and Eric McCarthy rounding out the top 10 on row 5. Row 6 is going to be Chris Otto and Evan Ethel, with row 7 being Trent Gagnon and Charlie Gates Jr. And then Dale Weiser sitting on row 8, 15th position, rounding out the field. But if there's any lessons that we could have taken from the last race at Richmond, obviously pretty different track here, but the lessons still run true. If there's anything we can take from this, it's that any of these guys are in with a shot. Obviously they've got 80 laps to do it in. Will Bustler hasn't gridded, and no one's going. We'll see what that one's about. Pretty sure the pace car is firmly gone. And there we go. We've just started rolling off now. I have to see where the pace car is actually, but are we going to be playing some catch up here? Bit of a simulation race start, but where is that pace car? There it is, entry to 3. And some of the slackers are only just coming out of turn 2 now, so we'll see whether they... Yep, there you go. I'm going to say see whether they delay the green, and we have had a delayed green. Presumably for 1 lap, so that we can get everyone sorted. So there we go, lights are now off on the pace car. We can be ready to start this 80 lap race here at Michigan. Christian Rose in the chat. Yeah, I'm hoping everyone can put on a good show as well. We would have loved to see you in the race, but obviously life can get in the way sometimes. Hopefully everything's all good on your end. Going down the back stretch now. Rick Helms getting some heat in those tyres. Now we are nearly ready for the race start. Going to see the pace car peel off to the left hand side. Just a few seconds. There you go. We are ready. Green flag in hand at Michigan International Speedway. Here we go. And we are underway here. Cody McFadden getting a great start. He's managed to completely jump both Hamlin and Hunt, so he doesn't have any issues here. But Hamlin, now as I say that, making his way to the inside of that 64 car. And it looked like from the heat race that the inside line reigns supreme, at least early on in your tyre run. So Mike Hamlin's going to make that one stick completely. John Gallagher's looking like he's fallen a bit backwards. They're getting 3 wide here. They choose not to go 3 wide. I think that's a good decision, but unfortunately Gallagher still going backwards, lacking a bit of momentum. 21 car on the outside. Daniel Pearson has got, I believe that's Trent Gamble on his inside. I think they're just about clear of each other. Yeah, they are clear of each other now. But, SDK was having a fun time trying to catch up, and Gallagher got it very loose there. Lucky to not hit anyone. Actually, there's some pretty good save there from him. Going up towards the front now, we've got Rick Helms and Byron Mcdonald going at it. And you see in front of that, Freddie McFadden and Dave Hunt for second place going at it as well. So 2x2 here up at the front. Mike Hamlin's just trying to run away as quickly as possible. This battle is very much so going to help him in doing that. That had a bit of a squeeze into the wall, looked like it could have been. Now Rick Helm's going to see an opportunity and absolutely go for it on that inside line. So the more aggressive line through the turn, it's going to work to get him alongside, but it's not going to work to get the pass done, as that outside does have that better run off the corner. Byron McDonald's going to use that a bit to get alongside. Looking a bit further back, Will Bustler in that 10 has set the fastest lap. As was that 3 wide at the back of the pack? That's what we love to see. Maybe not the smartest thing to do on lap 5, but some great racing nonetheless. And something has happened here for Dave Hunt. He's gone. Looks like he's dropped a little bit. He's dropped a few spots. But now Helm's making it past McFadden. And looking towards the back of the pack, 14th battle for 14th here between Gallagher and Pearson. Gallagher managing to use the run off the outside lane to make his way past that 21 car. Let's look forward once again to this group for second place. As Rick Helm's starting to actually lose sight of Mike Hamlin, maybe. It's 3.5 seconds up the road. Cody McFadden going for a move down the inside into 3. Gonna get it done before the exit of the corner. Looks like he will, but Helm's going to have that momentum. He's going to use it to try and power himself towards the inside. He gets a good enough overlap. There's not that much in it. Like slowly but surely that outside lane is working itself to be better and better. As the car now behind these guys is Will Bustler. You may remember was the pole setter. He decided to start from the pits. Now this is proper pack racing. Maybe a pack of 4, but I'll still count it. But that outside lane is slowly getting stronger and stronger. Doesn't stop Dave Hunt from going for a move on the inside. Bit of a little switchback there on Rick Helms. Does actually work out for him, so it seems pretty situational at the moment. They're coming through here on lap 10. Now already a quarter of the way through this first stage, if you like. Got that halfway caution on lap 40. But interesting to see what the pit stops are going to be like here as McFadden and Dave Hunt going at it. Hunt trying to gain control of this group at the front. Looking a little bit further back, 7th place, we've got Chris Otto and Charlie Gates Jr. going at it. Otto managing to either get ahead or stay ahead, didn't quite catch which. And back to these for second place now. Got McFadden on the outside, Helms in that very colourful 75 car on the inside. Pretty sure I said it last round, I'll say it again, that 75 is probably the most distinctive livery here. I mean, you got the yellow on the front and the pinkish purple on the back. That is one of those cars that you can spot from a mile away and know exactly who it is. This battle once again raging on for 7th in the 48 and the 55 cars. Managing to get through on Chris Otto, who seems to be running a very, very high line. Not sure how well that's working out as he's going backwards. I'm not sure whether his tyres will already be starting to go off. That seems unreasonable for only 14 laps, but could be playing a factor in his lines, but either way he's now falling into the clutches of Evan Ethel and Chris Papa. The former is going for a move down the inside at turn 3. Otto once again running a super high line. This move, not quite a carbon copy of the one that Charlie Gates Jr. was able to pull off. Keep going for a little while longer. Also managing to defend it. Chris Puffer going through it on the outside on the backstretch, going, yeah, I'll have a go now. Seeing all this battling behind him, pretty different story for Mike Hamlin, just cruising out at the front. He's being caught slightly now, but still got a 2.4 second gap to his name. I forgot to have the ticker on scroll mode, so apologies for that. You've been seeing the top 5 gaps, but nonetheless, fix that now. But this group, I have a feeling, is one we're going to be seeing staying until the end. I was looking at, we've got a few of these guys in a Discord call together. Bit of friendly banter going on in there. There we go, we've got a pit stop. Mike Hamlin in. Presumably fuel. As I'm sure your tyres wouldn't go off that quickly. Yep, there you go, 8.1 seconds in the box, stop for fuel, and then going off again. That's handed the lead over to Rick Helms as he's made his way up to the front of this group now. Cody McFadden is going to be into the pits as well, as is Will Bustler. So we're now seeing our pit stop phase of the race going on. As obviously that's the good thing about running in these packs, is that you can use less fuel behind another car, but obviously if you're at the front you're winning the race. It's sort of a trade-off that you make, but these guys not having to pit immediately, is going on to lap 20. Would definitely be able to make it to that halfway caution if they pit this time by. Maybe coordinating when they pit so to make it easier to go in, go out and be together on the way out of the pits. But none of them still coming in this time around, only Hamlin, McFadden and Bustler having gone into the pits, so maybe they were quite early on their pit stops. McCarthy and Weiss are now coming in as well. That turns this into a battle for the lead. Byron Mcdonald overtaking Rick Helms to take control of this race. Helms going to try him on the inside here. McDonald running very wide. Running a pretty high line. Helms got a better run through the corner. Like he might have Dave Hunt helping him. We've got Otto, Ethel and Pearson into the pits now as well. So more and more people peeling into the pits as this front three continues on battling. When these guys come in, actually, so it's only got to be a matter of time now, and there goes Byron McDonald. Running limited fuel tanks in this series, you're going to have to get your pit stops in as well. Obviously if they're running 100% fuel tanks, it could get quite long runs without pitting, and then you can go maybe only pit once in the race if you're good at that fuel management. And it's going to be interesting to see where everyone comes out in relation. So these top two still not pitting. Looks like all of the top six still not having gone down pit road. Something's happened to Byron McDonald as he's running on the apron. Or is that just him coming out the pits? Yes, it would be. Getting myself confused here. Saw him dropping down the order and assumed something had happened, but no, it's all fine. See the 55 and the 99, Ace Jr. and Gagnon. Running side by side now. Green and white Mustang of Trent Gagnon making his way through. like Charlie Gates was looking for a bit of a switchback move, not quite finding it though. Go back up to the front. Helms and Hunt still holding on. So that decision to pit on lap 17 is looking admittedly more and more bizarre for Mike Hamlin actually. He was in clean air, came out in clean air. So no reason to pit to either get another car with him or get rid of another car. Looking at this back just behind our current leaders. So you have the 31 car trailing, that's Chris Papper, that's third place, and then you've got a battle between 9th and 10th of Bustler and Otto. Two cars who have not yet pitted. Obviously we know Bustler has that one lap pace to get him up to pole position. Gagnon and Gage Jr. both now coming down pit road, as does Dave Hunt, Rick Helms and Chris Papper. As that leaves only John Gallagher to have not pitted, and here he goes into the pits. So we're going to stay on board here with Mike Hamlin for a bit and see where everyone comes out in relation to him. Admittedly, that turned out to be slightly pointless of an exercise, as Rick Helms also taking tyres. So other drivers were taking tyres. McDonald, McCarthy, Helms, as we said, and Weiser has taken tyres. Dave Hunt was in the pits for 53 seconds, so I didn't see when he got damaged, but that must have been it. Unless he was serving some sort of penalty. Oh, here we've got a few cars going around to put laps on him. Ones that he was battling not too long ago, one of which Byron Mcdonald did. Leading this small pack for 5th and 6th. Himself, Will Bustler and Chris Otto. How this goes for them. Looking a little further back here for 7th and 8th place, Eric McCarthy and Evan Ethel. We're working together a bit. There'll be good opportunities if they catch up with that pack ahead. Only 1.9 seconds to it, and then they'll have everywhere up to 3rd place in reach. take a look at the progress of Rick Helms trying to make his way back up with those fresh set of tyres. He's making up a lot of time, let me tell you. This last lap round was a 38.7, this lap round 38.9. He's challenging for one of the best times in the race so far, and he's going a good second faster than anyone else on the track at the moment, so maybe that decision to take tyres is going to come back well. But we're just going to go on to lap 34, so not too long until that halfway caution now. To put a lap on Dave Hunt and try and move past Chris Otto at the same time. And then there's that group of cars up ahead that I was talking about earlier. Let's go to them as Chris Papper's trying to defend his position from Will Bustler. Does it successfully this time around. Bustler trying to keep complete pressure on number 31 Ford Mustang ahead of him. Trent Gagnon's actually trying to get some sort of laps back the hard way. Decides to not pursue that any longer. Rick Helms' progress is slightly being stunted here, trying to get past Chris Otto. And in fact trying to shake off this group. But probably won't catch the cars ahead before caution comes out, so probably worth just trying to defend his position for the moment. Meanwhile, in the top 5 it is running Hamlin, McFadden, McDonald, Bustler and then Papa. See in the back of the shot, Rick Helms there finally managing to shake off that group behind him as they are battling Eric McCarthy and Chris Otto. McCarthy making his way through now. Battling making sense, not long until we get that halfway caution. Not too sure if there are points for positions at that halfway caution. I'll have to ask about that one. Although someone in the chat may know. And speaking of the chat, let us know who you're rooting for. As Mike Hamlin, our leader, about to come onto lap 39 of 80 here at Michigan International Speedway. Guys, still battling for that final position on the current podium. Ooh, into the wall there a bit for that's Chris Papa, I believe. Got Trent Gagnon directly behind him trying to get a lap back, but that's Rick Helms right there. That will be for position if he can get that 75 car past. Mustang on Mustang crime here. So we are now on lap 40. I don't know whether it gets called at the end of 40 or whether it's 40 laps completed, but either way, Cody McFadden going for a move here on Mike Hamlin to take the lead. I didn't see this one coming, I have to say. But he's taken the lead of the race to the stripe, and there is that yellow. Will Bustler just managing to hustle that third place away from Byron Mcdonald as well. So on this halfway caution, it goes McFadden, Hamlin, Bustler, then McDonald, Helms, Papa, McCarthy, Otto, Ethel, Weiser, Gallagher, Pearson, Hunt, Gates Jr. and Trent Gagnon in 15th position. Biggest mover so far with 5 places gained is Dan Weiser, but we have 5 different drivers gaining 3. That's McDonald, Papa, McCarthy, Otto and Ethel all gaining 3. And as they are picked up by the pace car, we will be back in a couple of minutes, just after get some bills paid. So, see you back then.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Now, I'm sure I'm not going to surprise you by saying there were wholesale pit stops as lights are out on the pace car, but they've come out the pits in a pretty different order now. So we've got Byron Mcdonald currently at the top, Eric McCarthy making his way up to second place, both of those drivers having pitted for fuel only. Then we have McFadden, Bustler and Helms all took tyres as well. Dave Weiser only taking fuel. And then those behind, Ethel, Hamlin, Otto, Gallagher, Pearson and Papa all taking tyres. Pearson and Papa being in there for a slightly more extended stay than you would maybe expect. Charlie Gates Jr., the only driver to have not pitted. Probably to get some more laps back, now sitting at only 1 lap down. Dave Hunt desperately trying to catch back up with the pack after some pit cycling. But it's going to be Byron Mcdonald who holds the button this time around. As we come through the exit of 4. Green flag in the air once again, waiting to be waved. And here we go, we're away once again here at Michigan. Donald getting a pretty good restart. Eric McCarthy is already being challenged by Will Bustler. He was looking to make an ascent to the lead, but he's probably feeling pretty boxed in here. He's got Byron McDonald right in front of McCarthy, right to his side. Finally see a bit of open space. Battling going on behind as Mike Hamlin tries to make his way back towards the front. Ooh, maybe a bit of contact there between Otto and Weiser. Couldn't quite tell. Will Bustler's managed to get into an uncontested second place. He's making a contest for the lead. And he's got that lead coming off of turn 2 down the backstretch, now coming into 3. And we have a caution. Looks like there was an incident towards the back of the field. Have a look at that one. Yikes, that 76 being turned into a spinning top there. It wasn't that hit the wall and Evan Ethel, I believe, hitting the wall. Unfortunately coming down, making contact with, I think it was the 55 who speared into the 76, and unfortunately that is no longer a healthy looking car here. As this is only our second caution of the race. A few drivers deciding to calm down pit road. Unsurprisingly, John Gallagher being one of them. Either Otto Weiser, Ethel, Gallagher and Gates Jr. in the pits. But it was still an exciting restart up at the front, so looking forward to another one of those. With Will Bustler managing to get his way back up to the front of the pack. I believe this is the first time he's led in this race. Obviously he put in the quickest qualifying time, decided to start from the pits, make this race as much of a challenge as possible. But now back up at the front, in the driving seat. So we get to see what he can do from the front. As lights are out once again on the pace car. See how this restart is going to go for them. So pace car now peels off into pit road once again. That's the wrong one. That's the right one. Green flag once again here as I looked at the wrong flags temporarily, but here we go. Bustler already completely clear, and now McCarthy and McDonald going at it for second place. Give it to McCarthy. Mike Hamlin's going to have a go now on McDonald to try and get back into that third position, though he's falling back as a bad run off of turn 2 as he had the inside line. Ooh, McFadden getting very loose there. Trying to chase the car down to the bottom of the track, just about keeping a hold of it. So that's going to be susceptible to the attack of Dave Hunt, who he found himself a bit lower down, and he is running back through the field. Byron Mcdonald's going to go for a move down the inside of McCarthy now, looking to regain that second place. Mike Hamlin is going to be very close in time. He's going to be a lovely run. He's going to find anywhere to use it though. He's not going to have anywhere to use that run, unfortunately, into turn 1. So just having to sit behind for now. Going to use it now, pulls out to the inside. Move for third on McCarthy. It looks like we're going 3 wide nearly as McFadden has to chase down the track once again. Not quite clear as the move's not done yet. Outside lane obviously working very well off the turns. But if you run it deep on the inside on entry, then you can tend to get it done pretty well, as Mike Hamlin is now trying to move past Byron Mcdonald, and I'm saying trying, he has moved past Byron Mcdonald. Wasting no time at all trying to get back to that lead, as I think he knows the 1 lap pace of Will Bustler. So just trying to make sure that he doesn't completely get away. Obviously we're still going to have some green flag pit stops here, and maybe another caution, who knows. We'll have to see how it is. Chris Black running very, very wide. As by the looks of things, he prefers the dirt tracks. Obviously, probably the ideal line on the dirt. But by the looks of things, going quite that high, not particularly the best way to go around the track here. Now 2 by 2 once again, McDonald and Helms and McCarthy and McFadden. As Helms and McFadden winning those battles. Now Cody McFadden trying to sweep all the way around the outside as it looks like Byron Mcdonald is going for pit stop early. So that, in theory, will be his money stop. See if anyone's going to react this early. I'm not sure that they will, as we've had a decent amount of laps under caution in comparison to the first and second runs. So we'll probably be seeing people running quite late here in comparison. Chris Papa able to try and make a move on Eric McCarthy. You can see how close the cars are getting there as he runs it deep into the turn. Trying to cut off the 44 from going anywhere, just about makes it happen. And look here at that that lovely blue with white striped Shelby livery on that 30 car. Dale Weiss are going for a move on McCarthy now. Gets it done. I think McCarthy's going to have more to say about that. No, what he does say is, I'm going into the pits, give me more fuel, we'll run to the end. And speaking of pits, Byron Mcdonald went in for fuel and tyres when he was in, so he's once again trying to run the get tyres go fast strat. See how well that works out for him, because I think our pit stop's going to be pretty spread out here. It'll be interesting to see if anyone works together with other drivers to come into the pits at the same time. Mike Hamlin in, once again pitting quite early in the cycle. And not quite as early as he did last time. Papa and Weiss are now going at it. Now Weiss are making that move stick, and that puts him to up 11 places now in this race. So very good effort from him. We saw Rick Helms jumping into the pits there as well. just looking slightly further back. And Dave Hunt is also pitting as well. It seems to be a slow trickle of pit stops, 1 car per lap maybe, as opposed to everyone going in at once. But look at this, it seems to be whoever's leading has a decent gap, as Will Bustler in the lead with Cody McFadden behind. And Bustler's actually now got some draft to work with as well. In the form of Rick Helms. McFadden seeing this going down pit side now. As prophecy holds true, 1 driver per lap seems to be the way it goes, honestly. Looks like my OBS just had a reconnection there, so apologies for any pause in stream you may have seen. As these 2 cars fighting for position have become a complete gaggle of cars now. Will Bustler now into the pits. This lap being the first one where we haven't just had 1 car pitting, we've had 3. Ethel and Gagnon joining Bustler in the pits this time around. As this battle between Rice and Papa is now the battle for the lead, and Vicer actually is up as many positions as you can in a grid of 15. He's made it up 14 positions. Lost the first challenge completed. Congratulations, sir. So he'll be hoping to keep that position until the end. Looks like Bustler's taken fuel and 2 tyres. So we're seeing quite a few different strategies rolling around actually. McCarthy and McFadden both took tyres. Dave Hunt either fuel and 2 or fuel and none, can't quite tell from the time. Chris Papper's in. McDonald and Hamlin both took all tyres as well. In fact, they were just at the back of this group we were seeing just slightly earlier. Unfortunately, after the pit stop phase, as it's nearly done, I think I can say this with confidence now, Hamlin and McDonald have found themselves quite far back in comparison to where they were. Though they have a decent amount of cars for position ahead of them, as I believe this battle is now entirely for position. That it is, as McDonald is... Well, no, Hamlin is working the outside of McDonald, sorry, and he's made his way past. Got Dave Hunt to get through next. As let's move forward, battle for the lead. Battle for second, sorry. I was reading it slightly wrong, between Otto and Bustler. Although I believe this will be the battle for the lead once pit stops cycle out, as Dale Weiss is the only one to not pit, and he is in the lead. So this, an effective battle for the lead. Bustler with, I believe, slightly mismatched tyres. But certainly some younger than Chris Otto, and Chris is going to have to do some fuel saving as well, I believe, maybe. Though, As he was, in fact, the first one to stop in the cycle. Actually, no, the second one to stop in the cycle. Sorry, Byron Mcdonald stopped 1 lap earlier. But, unfortunately, it looks like Bustler's going to be able to get away here. And just completely running away with those slightly fresher tyres. So, barring any mishaps, that may be the lead completely sorted. And now we're watching here Rick Helms. Unfortunately going slightly backwards in this group. Cody McFadden making his way past. Aaron McCarthy now trying to make his way past. Both down the inside, very close there. We love to see close but clean racing. And there seems to be plenty of it here in the Night Shift Racing League. So I'm sure if you're watching and you think, I want to get into that, I want to be a part of that, I'm sure they will happily accept you. Great bunch of guys. And if you like what you see, you're not the only one. I love what I see. As Mike Hamlin and Dave Hunt now trying to get past the 75 of Helms. Hamlin's passed, Hunt's still alongside. There we go. Just got that done now. And the longer Dale Weiser stays out in this lead, the longer I think. Could he have had enough fuel to go to the end? He pitted on lap 48. Near to the end of the last caution. And he may have done some decent fuel saving. He's definitely going slower than Will Bustler, but he's got a 30-second gap at the moment. So, if he has enough fuel, then this would absolutely be a dream result from last to first, though I'm not sure. We'll have to see, but let's go back to some battling here for third place. Cody McFadden, Chris Otto, and Christian Rose in the chat. Again, new members will be accepted. So yes, if you like what you see, get in touch with him. Get into their Discord and get racing. There's some great clean racing going on at some fairly different times for racing to be going on. Got some lunchtime action. That's not the normal time for racing, obviously the evening, but people working night shifts, absolutely accessible for them and anyone else who happens to be available at the time. And yep, Dale Weiser is into the pits. So while I thought he could have had enough fuel, unfortunately that's not going to be the case. So I have to see where he comes out in the grand scheme of things. Just seeing Dave Hunt here having to go pretty defensive here now, as he's lost touch a bit to the two cars ahead. Got McCarthy and Hamlin right behind him. See on the bottom of your screen, Dale Weiser now coming out of the pits. Obviously just a little top up in fuel for that 30 car. I would love to see actually at the end of this whether we could get some interviews with some of the drivers if they're in the Discord. I'd love to speak to our eventual winner and or podium sitters. Or actually anyone else who's had an interesting race. Looks like most people have had pretty interesting races, but here we go with it's going to be 2 to go next time across. There we go. Now only 2 laps remaining. Dale Weiser trying to make some more positions back as he's trying to move up into 7th place on Daniel Pearson. Still going to be side by side here. Not sure how this battle is going to play out. I think Pearson was clear for a moment, but Weiss is working the inside, so he's going to get the advantage on the inside of the corners, very close, as Pearson's going to get the run, and Weiss is going to have to defend from McDonald. We are on the white flag now, final lap of the race, as this has worked itself out. Now we've got a battle for 5th, McCarthy and Hamlin, making it side by side, and we'll see. Hamlin's not quite going to go for a move, as Will Bustler is now going to come across the line, taking the checkered flag for the win. Let's go to this group. Who is it going to be? Looks like it's just going to be McFadden 3 wide for the finish. It's going to be McFadden, then Otto, then Hunt. Side by side finishes further back as well. Those are some very close gaps for the finish, but what a finish for 2nd place, 3 wide after 80 laps here at Michigan. And that rounds out the race. Let's take a look at the official results. Once I select the right thing, we'll get that up there. So yeah, Will Bustler winning by 6.5 seconds. Great win for him at the end. Maybe slightly glad that he went to the pits at the start of the race, because it was a lovely work through the field for him. Then you can see there Cody McFadden, Chris Otto and Dave Hunt being the order of 2nd, 3rd and 4th. You can see how close those gaps are, and there were some pretty close gaps behind as well. Eric McCarthy and Mike Hamlin separated by less than a 10th. Also less than a 10th between 3 cars of Pearson, McDonald and Weiser. And then we have Rick Helms, Chris Papa and Evan Ethel rounding out the lead lap. Trent Gagnon went a lap down at some point during the race, and unfortunately couldn't get that lap back, and both John Gallagher and Charlie Gates Jr. Ended their races early. But I believe we have our winner in the Discord. Let's see if I can bring him in. Hello, Will. You got me in the booth. It's going pretty well. How's it going for you? Yeah, so congratulations on the win. You definitely looked like the quickest car out there today. So I assume it was a decision on your part to start from the pits. Yeah, it was certainly great to see you making your way through the field. There was some interesting strategy calls, I think, for pitting, because we had people going in pretty early, people going in pretty late, taking tyres, not taking tyres. What do you reckon the best call was there in the end?
With these new cars, it's just trying to figure out what works best for them, and right sides was definitely the right call.
Yeah, I'd like to. I actually like to apologise to both you and the viewers. I had Discord coming through the wrong audio channel there for a bit. So yeah, you said you were running part time because of work, and
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, no,
interesting. Yeah, sorry about
Yeah.
that.
No, it's okay. No problem, man. I get it.
Completely missed the first question from you, but right. So, see, where are we next week? Gateway, are we going to be seeing you next week? You reckon?
Hopefully that's my goal, is to try to get as many as possible. Gateway is another challenging track with these cars. It's
Yeah.
definitely going to be interesting to see how they react. So I'll probably run some practice laps and see how it goes. And if I'm able to squeeze it in, I hope to be there and hope to be talking to you next week too.
Yeah, it'd be great to see you back. And before before I let you go and celebrate and have the rest of your day, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, thank you for coming on the season and broadcast. I've watched the races. I went back and watched them. You do a great job. Keep it up. We appreciate you coming on. I just want to thank the admins. Thank 1-3 Speed for another year sponsoring the league. Awesome button boxes. Go ahead and reach out to Chris Papa if you guys are interested. But thanks for everybody running a great league. NSRL is one of the best ones out there, and I look forward to all the races. Are always clean, always smooth. So thank you everybody for watching.
Yeah, absolutely, and thank you for putting on a nice show for us.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. So I think that's about gonna round us off here. So once again, apologies for the slight audio issues. I had it coming through the wrong audio channel, but got that sorted in the end. See if I can get a replay of that three wide finish before we end, because that was great. See, is it gonna load up? It will load up. Sit here for it. There you see Will coming across the line. You see those three cars going three wide at the end. Awesome stuff to see. So definitely don't miss next week if you can make it, because so far this is turning out to be an awesome league. Great clean driving from all the drivers, lovely group of people, and you definitely don't want to miss this. And we have some more action coming up later today as well. So if you are around, the AARL Truckers Feed America Cup Series is going to Talladega Superspeedway. That is at, I believe, 8 p.m. Sorry, I'm having to work out time zones at the same time. And Western States Racing League for their 13th round is at Homestead Miami Speedway as well. So don't miss out on those if you can make it. And thank you for watching. It's lovely to have you, lovely to commentate over this league. And that's going to be about it. Hope to see you all next week.